Hello chaps. With the release of Vermintide 2, I want to review the old game and give any thoughts and opinions on it before it gets buried beneath the pile of games that we all have, and whether or not it's worth the purchase before the new game takes over. I have around 46 hours in the game on Steam and a few more from the beta testing before, which is a lot less than most other people have in the game, but I feel it's enough to be able to review the game and give an honest opinion, and so you can understand enough for what it is. The problem when a developer like this releases a new game, I feel the old game becomes redundant, especially if the new game is sort of better than the old one. The new mechanics change, the graphics get better, and obviously with a new game you have most likely completed the old one. But first, let's talk what the game is about. The game is simply a shooter, hack and slash FPS that is somewhat close to and similar to the Left 4 Dead series. The game is centered around the end times in Warhammer, the world of Vermintide. The enemies range from Skaven and Ratlins to numerous bosses and assassins who've decided to remove the realms of men from the filthy world. You can start the game with a choice of different characters. You have Bardin Gorekson, who is the Dwarf Ranger. He uses axe and a rifle and can be equipped with a shield also. Carillion, the Waywatcher, an elf who is skilled in both archery and dual wielding, either a sword and dagger or dual swords. She can even have just a single sword if you require. Sienna Fuganasus, the Bright Wizard, who can cast fiery spells and defend herself with a staff and sword if needed. And Marcus Kruber, a merry Empire soldier. He has a shield and sword and a blunderbuss for some sweet shotgun lols. And finally Victor Saltspire, the Witch Hunter, who comes with dual pistols and a falchion sword for pokey times. With this team of heroes, of which you can have 4-person co-op online, in any game or map, you can rise up in the city of Uberschreik and venture out into the filthy streets to save the world from a rat apocalypse. Each character has a different strengths and weaknesses, and each can share equipment along their journey. Bandages, ammunition, bombs, potions, all consumables that can be found through the journey. If you find the secret locations, you can find grimoires and tombs to either give you better loot at the end, which also makes the game more challenging by either reducing your health pool or taking up a space if you medkit. The loot is given at the end of the mission with dice rolls. The more dice you get from the grimoires and tombs, the higher level of the loot you receive. Simple, but can be frustrating also for a loot system. Especially as if you can get something for the character you don't necessarily need, or a duplicate. Don't get me wrong, that can be used to equip it for the NPCs. It can also help you go through the mission when your friends aren't online. Kind of a support role. But be warned though, the more challenging the level of the mission, the less the medkits and potions you find through the journey, so the more challenge it will get. So you need to make sure you're properly equipped with weapons, armor and trinkets to fight in the correct levels. So don't try and basically come in with grey gear and then go into the sort of the high level stuff, because you're never going to be able to complete it. Now, if you get downed, your teammate, NPCs as well, can revive you. Depending on the level of the mission, your health bar will be dramatically reduced upon revival. So make sure you choose the right challenge for your level. You want to pay attention and play your best, so make sure also you don't take the least damage as possible. That's the main thing, because it will help you and your teammates. Normally I play Carillion, but all the other classes can be just as fun. It's just finding the right preference and the right loot and equipment for yourself. With Carillion, she can also solo 3 or 4 enemies at once and stop them dead before they even hit you. But she relies strongly that her teammates cover her from behind and don't have any lurking enemies stabbing her in the back. And she can be equipped with the True Flight bow, which you can lock on to enemies and have a guaranteed kill, which makes life so much easier when you have the heavily armoured units called Storm Vermin, which are a right pain to kill sometimes. It's very much a team-based game, and normally if you have a lot of the team on low health, it causes problems later in the game. So, like I say, it goes back to the point of trying not to get hit and try and do your best most of the time. Don't kind of slack as you're progressing, because it will hinder the team, especially when you're fighting the boss. So each map is very linear, but also very different missions and bosses. Some will give you objectives to throw barrels, for example, into holes and stop the rats from becoming from below. Others will merely tell you to get to the top of a tower and blow a huge horn and defend the world, hold at the top of the tower and defend from all the rats for a short period of time. I find each level is very well designed overall and gives a unique and beautiful design throughout. I really do enjoy the graphics in this game, and I think the detail is very high throughout. It offers certainly immersive gameplay with blood and gore in the right bits in the right places. It really is a beautiful game, and I highly rate the artists who went through each part to get the details just perfect in my opinion. The combat was easy to understand, and switching to each class required when needed was easy enough to adapt to. When you only need to hack and slash and shoot, it's kind of easy to adapt with everything sort of having similar mechanics, with the exception of the shields, which are used to stun and knock back, the wizard having an AoE fire spell to inflict the Zulu horde damage. So really, in conclusion, the game is thoroughly enjoyable. If you have friends to play with, you can buy 4 copies of the game for around 20-25 quid, which is not bad, you know, at least a couple of hours enjoyment. Vermintide 2, for example, is around £20 per person, so it's about 80, 85, 90 quid to get you all into Vermintide 2. Now I do think the progression system is better in Vermintide 2, but for the price, Vermintide 1 end times is definitely worth it. Definitely 20-30 hours of gameplay guaranteed at least, especially with the 4 of you. So for repeatedly spamming swords into rat faces, chopping them in half, or at least chopping their heads off and bouncing around and the head bouncing into the next head to chop off, the only thing I can say is expect to buy DLCs if you get addicted, or at least the next game, and expect to grind if you want to get to meta game and get better loot. So overall, I'm going to give this 3 salty tears for great graphics, fun co-op gameplay, but too much grind to get what you want in the end really. Let me know if you've played this game before and enjoyed it, or will get this game and give it a go. Do you think the next game is better, or do you prefer the original? Let me know. As always, I appreciate all the support from you guys. So, thanks for watching. Have a great day. And I'll catch you in the next one.
Got him. Headshot. I'm stuck.
Yeah, they're coming down the tree.
Yeah. Storm vermin. Grenade. Throw your grenade. Rockery. Throw your grenade.
No, we're good.
Lol. Lol, that's funny. We should get inside the cave here. This one. Here they come. We need to group up on me, guys. Group up on me. Stay on here. There's a big swarm that comes. Here they come. Oh shit, there's a lot. Oh, buddy.
You could be.
You just fucking stood there.
Yeah, we're just looking at each other.
Yeah.
Doing good.